Alright people, what's up everyone and welcome to another video, and it is time to rank every single Spider-Man movie right here, right now on Tier Maker. All 9 of them, right? 9? Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 9. Because you got the 2 Amazing Spider-Man, you got the 3 original, you got the 3 new ones, and then you got Into the Spider-Verse. Figured it out. Wait, yeah, we're good. Alright, make sure I didn't miss anything. What we're going to do is we're going to rank them here on Tier Maker. So we're going to do S, A, B, etc. You know letters, right? I'm not even gonna lie, I was about to say numbers. And then we're gonna go to Letterbox, which by the way, follow me on Letterbox. Go to MovieGod, link in the description. And we're gonna actually rank them. Don't pay attention to these ratings. You know, it's been a little while since I've rated them, so we're gonna kind of figure it out as we go along. These are old ratings, let's just say, even though these two look mighty fine to me. And we're gonna actually rank them from best to worst. So instead of S to F, we're gonna go 1 to 9. I think you understand. And this will be quick because we'll just look at this and see where everything ranks, kind of. But all right, so let's get to it. This shouldn't be a too long of a video, but every time I say that, it ends up being a long video. So I mean, what? I mean, we want. Yeah, I mean, we want from me. I don't know. Anyway, well, first of all, I should have probably removed this before. I don't think E should count. I don't think E is ever a real ranking, so never put E in there. But D and F, that's fine. I'm gonna spoil this. I don't think I'm gonna have a D or an F in here. I know some people will be like, "Why Spider-Man 2 should be a D?" We'll get to it. Anyway, we're going to start off chronologically. That's how we're going to do this. So, Spider-Man 1. Spider-Man 1. I love it. I just rewatched it again a couple months ago. So great. It's just jolly good times. Honestly, it's close to an S, but I'm going to say a high A for that. Love it. I've seen some people say they haven't aged well, and I just don't. I feel like you haven't aged well. If you think that, if you loved them back then and you don't love them now, you haven't aged well. Me, I've aged well. Me age well. That movie is just a blast. It really is. Of course, Willem Dafoe's performance is fantastic, and shout outs to him for nailing that performance again, almost 20 years later in No Way Home. Gave it a little bit more depth too. I feel like where in Spider-Man 1 he's a little bit more cartoony, which works perfectly for this film. It actually calls for that kind of a performance, but it's such a great performance because he gets to play two different sides of Osborn. And it's amazing. Just little details in his like facial expressions, like when he's the Goblin. You know what I mean? And Tobey Maguire is still my favorite Spider-Man. Spoilers. Tom Holland is great, and I think he's finally really come into his own as Spider-Man in No Way Home. But good lord, I love Tobey Maguire, and I'm not just saying that because memes or because I grew up with him. I just think he really embodies what I love about Peter Parker as a character, from all the various media I've seen. Sure, I haven't read the comics, but I'm sure some people are like, no, but he's not like that. He's not like Tom Holland or whatever. I don't know. For me, Spider-Man 1, fantastic. A plus. I want to say A plus, close to an S. But Spider-Man 2 is my shit. Still one of the best Spider-Man, or well, that's true too, one of the best superhero movies of all time. That is straight up an S. I don't want to hear it. Doc Ock, one of the best villains, one of the best endings to a villain, I guess, of all time. Just a great. I'm going to spoil Spider-Man 2. A great, just like, what's the word I'm looking for, or what's the term? A great. Oh God, when a character goes from good to bad to good again. That one of the best out there. Love that stuff. I think Alfred Molina nails that role. The train scene is legitimately one of my favorite scenes of all time. It really is. I could watch that scene any day. And when they all grab him before, after he saves the train and grabs him and like lifts him up, and they're just like, he's just a kid, no older than my son. It's just great stuff. Here's Spider-Man. We won't tell anyone. It's so good. It's so good. And you can say it's cheesy. I don't go fuck. All right? Shut your mouth. Okay? Don't talk. Go away. Anyway, Spider-Man 2, fantastic movie. Now, Spider-Man 3, I'm going to say I think Spider-Man 3 is still really good. I'm going to put it in B. How you like that? I feel like, you know what? I say that, but I feel like Spider-Man 3 has come around. I think people really like it now. I almost want to say because of memes, because of like Bully Maguire and all that stupid shit. Which don't get me wrong, I love that stuff. Don't get me wrong. But I really, really love most of Spider-Man 3. Like it took a little while for me to really love it. Like I liked it when I first saw it, I really did. Um, I'm sure when I first saw it, I was like, "This is the best one because it has all the villains." But I loved it. I really did. Spider-Man 3 was fantastic. Had some great conclusions to some plot threads that were in the first two movies that weren't completely, uh, closed off, I guess. You know what I'm saying? I can't ever think of the words I want to say. That's just my brain, my little dumb brain. Don't work sometimes. But yeah, Venom was very, very underdeveloped. Didn't like it at all. I didn't even like what's his name, Topher Grace as Eddie Brock. Uh, just didn't like him in the movie, let alone if he was an accurate depiction of that character. I just didn't like him. I thought he was very blah. But of course, in all three of these, J. Jonah Jameson, top tier, and I think he's so good in this movie too. Just want to throw it out there, talk about characters that are great, standing. But yeah, I love all the black suit stuff, and everybody complains about him like, oh, he's all weird about like, now he's dancing and stuff. It's cringe, and it's supposed to be. He's a fucking nerd pretending to be cool. Like I don't like. I just don't understand why people don't get that. They just think, oh, he thinks like it's supposed to be cool or something like that. Like the movie thinks it's cool. No, it's supposed to be a nerd acting cool, and that's why everybody gives him like the look, like what the fuck. That's why I love it. It's really great stuff. Some great action. I thought Sandman's introduction was fantastic. One of the best scenes I think in the trilogy is when he becomes Sandman and he's like trying to grab the thing, and he can't. It's so good. So good. Anyway, I feel like Sandman. That's the one thing I didn't really care about in No Way Home is that how kind of thrown away his character was. You know what I mean? Like he was there and he had a point, but there's something about it I felt like they could have did a little bit more with him. Anyway, the Amazing Spider-Man. By the way, I should have probably prefaced this. There's gonna be spoilers in this. I'll put it in the title though. I'll try to not spoil too much though, so maybe light spoilers. Amazing Spider-Man 1. Now, I know a lot of people didn't like this movie when it first came out, but I enjoyed it. I thought Andrew Garfield was a really good Peter Parker. I liked him. I think he's a great actor. There's just some times where his character gets a little bit too mopey, I feel like. Where like Peter Parker gets mopey, don't get me wrong, I get that. But like in this movie, it becomes a little bit too much. He's like a skateboard kid. I also will say, or skater, as I call him, skateboard kid. That's a movie. Skateboard Kid 2 also. But the one thing I don't really like is that like I felt like he was nerdy, yes, but he didn't feel nerdy. He Andrew Garfield just seems a little bit too cool to be Peter Parker. Where I think Tom Holland and Tobey Maguire nail the nerdiness and kind of like shyness and stuff. I didn't really feel that from him, but I did really like him and Gwen Stacy's chemistry relationship. I think the villain was very weak, though. I thought Lizard, while cool looking for the most part, I thought his whole plan about shooting a thing in the sky, which is like a fucking trope in these superhero movies, they're like, I'm gonna shoot something in the sky and it'll explode and do something, Luckily, I don't do that plot that much anymore, but it became a thing, running gag for a little while. That a lot of things would be like, you shoot a laser or something in the air, and then everything gets killed or whatever, like a whole city or whatever. And I thought the whole villain, like after 3 movies of having really sympathetic villains, or even like just maniacal and fucking awesome villains, besides Venom, I guess, but Sandman was great. Having just like, oh, I mean, I get it, you want to regrow his arm and stuff, and it just didn't work for me. It just didn't work for me. I don't know. I understood him, but But I still enjoyed it. I thought I liked the suit. I like all the quips that he would say. I felt like it was the most quippy Spider-Man at that point. And again, Andrew Garfield, I did like as Spider-Man. Some of the action's pretty solid. I like how he actually moves more like a spider in this. Like, there's actually times where he's like scurrying around like an actual spider. Not that they don't do that, but it actually felt more spider-ish, if you know what I mean. Anyway, Amazing Spider-Man 1. I give it a low B, like a low B. Spider-Man 3, I would actually give close to a B plus. So there's the difference. Amazing Spider-Man 2. I'm not gonna lie to you, I really enjoy this movie. It is all right. When I say it's terrible, I mean it's like if Sam Raimi had brain damage. That's the kind of like campy, cheesy shit is in this movie. Does anybody remember the when Electro was captured and he had the evil scientist man played by oh fuck, what's his name? He always plays a villain, Martin something. But he shows up. He's like, I am evil. I think he has like a German accent. I almost want to say he does. Maybe he doesn't, but maybe in my brain I'm just remembering it as like a way more of a cartoon than it was. But he's like, oh, we have you, Electro. You can't get away from us now. He's like, you don't know who I am. I'm going to get out of here. And then like the fucking evil scientist man's like mugging in front of the camera, like, you can't escape, and then he escapes. I'm Electro. And then at the end where he's playing Itsy Bitsy Spider while trying to fight Spider-Man, and just the whole Green Goblin shit, or I guess Hobgoblin. Was that supposed to be Hobgoblin? I don't fucking care. He looks terrible. I will say the Gwen Stacy death scene at the end, spoilers, like I said, was really well done, and I still really like their relationship, even though it was a little bit too much of like back and forth in this one. I feel like I will say, no, actually, I was gonna say I like the relationship between these two more than Toby and Kristen Dunst, Mary Jane. But think about it, no, maybe not. Never mind. I would say Gwen Stacy's maybe a little bit more tolerable. I'll agree with that, maybe. But because there's times where Mary Jane, I'm just like, I think I just don't like Mary Jane as a character, because even in the like PS4 video game, I really didn't like Mary Jane, and I know I'm not the only one who didn't like her, which is a shame, because I think Michelle, right? Michelle Jones, is that her name? And they retconned her name to be Watson now, which is funny. In No Way Home, I liked her a lot. I liked her in Far From Home too, but we'll get to that. Anyway, Amazing Spider-Man 2 has so many cringy moments. Like the beginning is fucking like the whole like stupid ass airplane fight scene with his father and stuff with the conspiracy, which doesn't even come into play again until like an hour and a half into the fucking movie. And then the Rhino, which is Paul Giamatti's best performance. Oh, Spider-Man! He doesn't say that until the end of the movie, but like when he's in the car, and it's just fucking, it's so bad. I really enjoy it. It's so bad. He fixes the gap in his teeth with electric. What? I love it. I really do. And with his comb over, they even making fun of that in No Way Home. Like, goddamn. Anyway, I still give it a C though, because I do enjoy it, but it's terrible. It really is. It's probably the worst Spider-Man movie, but in my opinion, I'm sure some people will say it's the best. I've actually seen people say it's the best one, besides for No Way Home now. I feel like a lot of people are stupid. No, I'm just kidding. No, I was almost gonna say. I feel like a lot of people are just really happy with what happened in No Way Home. And is his arm really long in this Spider-Man 3 poster? What the fuck is? Why does this arm look way too long? Is that just me? Can you guys see that on there? What the fuck? Why does his arm look so big? Look, is it just me? Is it just? I guess I don't know. Maybe did I just realize that? Like his arm looks really abnormally long. I don't know. Anyway, let me bring that. That's fine. All right. Anyway, onward to Homecoming. Homecoming is a fun movie. It's a fun first Spider-Man MCU movie, even though of course he was also in Civil War. Tom Holland does a really good job. I think the whole mentorship kind of stuff with Tony Stark and him was well done. Admittedly, it became too overbearing throughout more of the like the Avengers, and even with Far From Home with Mysterio, like there being a mentor figure, even like Nick Fury was there. But I thought it was good. I liked how simple it was. It was fun. It had really solid I want to say just solid like comedic moments that I feel like it's kind of missing in the MCU, where it was actually kind of funny and clever. Now it's just like, oh, your name's Otto Octavius, so that's a dumb name. It's like, Spider-Man, you go by the name Spider-Man. I mean, I guess Otto Octavius is kind of stupid, but still, like, it's just such an obvious joke to make. Where like, I feel like it was like even like Far From Home had some dumb fucking humor, but I feel like it was the last Spider-Man movie, I guess, from the MCU, where I thought the humor was actually really solid and kind of cute and charming. From what I remember, though, and of course, Michael Keaton was awesome in that movie, dude. That whole scene where he goes and like, remember the love interest that everybody forgets now because everybody loves Zendaya and they don't give a shit about the other girl. But yeah, a whole scene where he's just like, oh, Peter, he knows who he is and shit, and he's just like, Oh, it's so good. He's threatening him and shit. It's really awkward. It's really good. I actually like all the like high school stuff in that movie. I think they do a really good job of making it feel like a real high school and real high school awkwardness, which they get right in Far From Home and not into Spider-Verse. The No Way Home. But it's most prevalent here. Like there'll be times where you just see kids in the background like playing on computers and stuff. It was good stuff. He's like, oh, chess club. I remember there was like a joke about chess club. Anyway, I'm gonna give Homecoming a middle B though. Better than Amazing Spider-Man, but middle B. I like Spider-Man 3 better. Please hate me. I feel like Into the Spider-Verse, I don't need to say anything. This is a fucking masterpiece. I really do think it's right up there with Spider-Man 2. It's phenomenal. Into the Spider-Verse is one of the best animated movies I've ever seen, and I love animation. And good lord, was that a fucking amazing movie? With some of the best animation, some of the best character work, some of the best humor I've seen in an MCU movie, in a Marvel movie. It's great. Sorry, I have people over, so if you hear screaming, it's my stupid cousin. I hope he doesn't watch this. Anyway, he watches my videos. Oh no. Far From Home. I don't need to say anything else about Into the Spider-Verse. Everybody knows. I fucking love that movie. I can't wait for Across the Spider-Verse. But Far From Home. I really liked Far From Home. I think Mysterio is a great villain. I love all the special effects stuff they do with his character. I thought that was really, really unique. I love that twist with his character, even though we all saw it coming, but still we're like, oh, no, maybe they'll do something different. Maybe he'll actually be a good guy, and then when it's revealed he's not, it was great. I love that everything was bullshit until then, like all those elementals. I thought that was really cool, because if the elementals were actually the bad guys, I would have been like, what the fuck? Just water guys and fire guys and wind guys. What the fuck? Was there one guy? I don't even know. But Far From Home was really good. I really, really enjoyed that film. I think the relationship between him and MJ was well established, considering it wasn't really a thing in the first movie, and they kind of like, I almost want to say they kind of retconned it. They almost made it seem like they were attracted to each other in the first movie, but I don't remember seeing that. I just remember Zendaya's character kind of just be like, oh yeah, what are you doing, Peter? Oh, you're a dork. I don't care about you, whatever. And then in this one, they're like, oh, I guess you could say there was some time passed, sure. Not a retcon technically. It's just in between they grew to like each other, but they don't even mention what's her name. I don't remember her name. The one he was macking on in the first movie. But Far From Home is a solid movie. I really enjoyed it. Great time. I like some of that awkwardness again still. I think the whole idea of him giving the glasses to some guy he just met is kind of stupid, but also like he's still what 16, 17-year-old kid. He's still stupid, do stupid shit all the time. I know people in my family that are around that age that do stupid shit all the time. So, but he should be a little bit smart considering he's supposed to be like a fucking yeah. Anyway, whatever. He's still a kid. I get it. I'm gonna give it a high B though. I will say a little bit better than Spider-Man 3 because Spider-Man Far From Home was way more focused. So I'll give it that. And now we have No Way Home, which I'm gonna say right here for now because I do have some problems with its humor. And the second time watching it, I do think Doctor Strange. Not that they ruined his character, they just made him more of a moron. I feel like, and don't get me wrong, Spider-Man fucks up a lot too, but that's at this point that's his character. I feel like that he fucks up a lot, so that's not really a fault with this version of the character. But Doctor Strange, I feel like there's just some things like I don't want to spoil too much of that movie. I did say that there's gonna be spoilers, but I don't want to spoil too much. But there's just things in the movie that I'm just like, all right, come on, man. Like Doctor Strange was so cool in those Avengers movies, and even the brief moment he was in Thor Ragnarok and stuff. Like he was so cool in those, and it would fit if this movie came out right after Doctor Strange, where he just becomes, Doctor Strange. But it doesn't. It comes out 3 movies after or 3 more Doctor Strange movies later, if you count Thor Ragnarok. 3 other movies that have Doctor Strange, you know what I mean? And even like What If, I guess. You don't need to count that. But yeah, I think everything else is amazing though. I loved it. Had a fucking fantastic time watching this the second time. And the first time, but I just saw it again earlier today, and it was such a treat. It was such a treat, and this is exactly how you do fan service. Where like Ghostbusters, the new one came out, I liked it, but the fan service was all over the place and it was kind of messy, admittedly. This, I think, really does it well. They make it make sense in the story. Even if you dig deep enough, you'll probably be like, wait, what the fuck? It might fall apart if you really think about it too much. But like these movies don't need to think about too much when it comes to like really structured storytelling. It just needs to be fun, well written enough, be flashy enough, and just be a good time. You know, don't bore me. Really is my thing. Like, just don't bore me. And I don't think any of these movies really bore me. The only one that comes close, I would say, is Amazing Spider-Man 1. Because there is times where it does get a little slow. Amazing Spider-Man 2 never bored me because it's so fucking stupid. I kind of love that movie, honestly. I'm not gonna lie. It's so fucking terrible, but I love it. Um, and that's it. So there it goes. So that is my rankings of it. So let's go over here. I think we can all guess exactly how this ranking is gonna go because So Spider-Man 2 obviously is number 1. Into the Spider-Verse is number 2. Don't pay attention to the ratings. This is ratings I did years ago. Well, actually, I guess they're kind of tied. I did say, right? Well, we'll leave it like that. Spider-Man 1, yes, and then we'll put No Way Home here. Then we'll put Far From Home, right? Right here. Is that right? Yeah, Far From Home, and then Spider-Man 3, and then Homecoming, then Amazing Spider-Man, and Amazing Spider-Man 2. There you go. Nailed it. So that's my ranking right there. You know what? Let's actually go and view the list. So here it is. This is my ranking. That's all right. Then save. God damn it! All right, let's go back. All right, let's do this again. What was it again? No, that's not right. Into Spider-Verse. Okay, Spider-Man. That's fine, right? Yeah, that's fine. No Way Home. Far From Home. Homecoming. Spider-Man. Yes. Okay. Now save. All right. Now it should be good. You better have saved, you fucker. Okay. All right. Now let's go and fix the ratings. Okay. So honestly, I'm gonna give it a 5. Just thinking about it, it's such a fucking great movie. I'll keep that as a 5. Again, I don't consider like a 5 out of 5, a 10 out of 10 an actual perfect rating, but for a website like a Letterboxd, that's perfectly fine. Spider-Man 1, yeah. Homecoming, I'm gonna give it a 4.5. I really, really loved it. Far From Home, 4. I'll keep that. I will make this a 3.5, and then I will make this a 3.5 also. Over time, I've liked it less. I'll make this a 3. Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then Amazing Spider-Man 2. You know what? Just because of how stupid it is, I'm gonna make it a 3. Even though that doesn't make sense. I guess a B- would be a 3 out of 5, right? Would that be like a C plus? Whatever. Different rankings. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because I gave Amazing Spider-Man I guess a B- on the other ranking. But whatever. So there you go. That is my list. I guess I should click and say I've watched some of these. I guess I didn't. Here, I'll put a love here. Sometimes I don't do that. Oh no, I guess it would update now, right? So here. Now I'll say, yeah, I got 100% watched. Sometimes I don't do that. Sometimes I just whatever. Anyway, great movies all around in different ways. Yeah, great times at least. That is my rankings for the Spider-Man movies. I'm sure some people are upset I didn't put like the Japanese Spider-Man or Venom. But Venom would obviously be S tier, both of them. So what's the point? So there you go. That is my ranking. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what your ranking is in the comments below. Right down there. Do it. Anyway, that's it. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time. Goodbye.